afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4 on this Tuesday. It's Tuesday, right?
It's Tuesday.
These days just sort of
I know. It's cold and gray and gloomy, and the weather's going to get a little crazy from here.
A little something and everything coming up. We'll get to that in a second. But first, topping our headlines, we finally have an in-depth understanding of what did and, more importantly, what did not happen at a Dane County park last fall, leading to a deputy's dismissal.
Can he get a fair trial? Well, that is a key question needing an answer in Darrell Brooks' case. The man charged in the Waukesha parade tragedy will explain what prosecutors want to hear from people who could end up on the jury.
And former President Trump is under the magnifying glass again as questions arise over a 7-hour gap in official phone records on January 6th. Let's take a look outside. Kind of gray out there today, but dry for now.
For now.
And here we go. Thunderstorms, then snow. Welcome to March in Wisconsin. Julian's in the backyard. Something for everybody.
That's right. Something for everybody as we're getting into our final days of March here. We've had cloudy, overcast throughout the course of our afternoon. It's going to be expected for the next few days as well. As we can see outside for us, it's still pretty chilly, even though on the surface we're around 40 degrees. We might see a degree more, but this is where we're going to pretty much top out on for the rest of this evening. But just know we're still below average around this time of year, which is into the upper 40s. But with those breezy winds, it's definitely keeping things on a chillier side as we head into the rest of this evening. Now, as we take a look at our radar as of right now, we are still mainly dry, but some areas are popping up some mixed precipitation, especially just about southeast of Madison. But temperatures are into those low 40s, upper 30s. This is pretty much the trend for us as we're getting into the rest of our evening hours. But the winds are also a big story. We can see 22 miles per hour winds for Janesville as of right now, 21 in Platteville, and 17 miles per hour winds in here in Madison. And as we talk about the rain, well, we're going to be expecting that to go into the later part of our evening, later into dinner time especially. And then as we go into tonight, folks, don't be surprised if you hear some rumbles of some thunder. We'll get into more details about that coming up in a few. But until then, we're going to talk about the traffic as of right now. The Beltline still pretty smooth with some green, but as we can see near Fish Hatch, some slow spots as of right now. Taking a look over towards the interstates, we are all green as of right now as we're kicking off the rest of our evening commutes. But we'll have more details about our mixed bag of precipitation coming up in just a few moments. Until then, back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Julian, thank you. Records obtained by News 3 reveal more insight into the November firing of a Dane County deputy.
Sarah Bortz Rodriguez's firing stemmed from an incident at a park in October. Eric Franke has more details about what those records revealed. Eric?
Susan and Mark, that incident happened near Cross Plains at Fesky County Park. It was October 21st. Deputy Bortz Rodriguez at the time said she saw a suspicious person while on patrol. Said she fired her weapon after being stabbed. It led to area lockdowns and an all-night search. The investigation turned up inconsistencies in her story, and this termination letter says she had a bad work review, after which she drove around to calm herself, but then took an unknown substance that is blacked out in the letter. We don't know what it was, but when it took effect, she says she discharged her firearm, and the cuts she suffered apparently were made by her own box cutter. In the end, the letter said Bortz Rodriguez had committed several code of conduct violations. The 30-year-old had been with the Dane County Sheriff's Office for more than 7 years. We do have a lot more information and details on this case at channel3000.com. Mark, Susan.
Eric, thank you. Attorneys for a man accused of driving his SUV through a Christmas parade in suburban Milwaukee are looking to push a trial date into 2023. Prosecutors allege Darrell Brooks drove through the parade in downtown Waukesha on November 21st, killing 6 people and injuring dozens more. Judge Jennifer Duro had scheduled Brooks's trial to begin October 3rd, but defense attorneys told her today that they can't be ready by then, given the volume of evidence they need to review. Duro gave them until Friday to file a motion to delay the trial and schedule a hearing for Monday. She said she may rule on a defense motion for a change of venue then as well.
In the wake of that Waukesha parade attack, at least one group is pushing back on a proposal to significantly change bail rules in Wisconsin. They lobbied against the proposal today.
The constitutional amendment would allow judges to consider past crimes when setting bail. Will Keneally was at the Capitol to understand why there is so much opposition to that idea. Will.
That's right. The group Ex-Incarcerated People, or EXPO, organized a legislative day of action. I followed along with them as they met with lawmakers and stopped by various offices. The group is asking them to reject a constitutional amendment, AJR 107.
Our strategy is that we are going to visit people today that voted in support of AJR 107. We just want to know why. Why is it that they thought that that was a good thing to support?
Expo organizers said that they were concerned some of the language included in the resolution is poorly defined. It has already passed the legislature once and would need to do so again before it heads to the voters as a referendum. The Expo organizers say they want to stop it from getting that far. One of the lawmakers at today's event said the constitutional amendment could reach ballots as early as next April. We will hear more from her at 5.
All right, well, we'll see you then. Thank you. Within the past hour, 90 members of the Wisconsin Air National Guard were sent off to their deployment in the Middle East. Governor Tony Evers, Guard officials, and family members attended the ceremony at Volk Field. The 128th Air Control Squadron is headed to the Arabian Peninsula to perform surveillance, tracking, and other work in support of Operation Inherent Resolve. This is the 6th time the unit has been deployed to the region.
Meanwhile, here in Madison, Vietnam veterans joined other members of the community today to celebrate the 5th anniversary of Vietnam Veterans Day. The ceremony was held at the Veterans Hospital to honor Vietnam veterans and their families for their service and sacrifice. The veterans of war said that for many years after they returned, they felt they were not given the recognition they deserved. But now, that has changed.
Oh, when I came back home, it wasn't nice at all. People were spitting at us and calling us names, baby killers and whatever. Nobody understood what it really meant to be there. And now at least they're recognizing it.
After the speeches, representatives from local veteran groups tied yellow ribbons around a tree in the auditorium, a reference to a popular song written towards the end of the Vietnam War about a soldier returning home.
The House Select January 6th committee is scrutinizing a nearly 8-hour gap in former President Trump's phone records, some of which occurred during the time rioters were attacking the Capitol building. Committee
members have voted to recommend contempt of Congress referrals for 2 more former Trump aides, while also calling on the Biden Justice Department to do more.
Skylar Henry has more from Capitol Hill.
CBS News and the Washington Post report former President Donald Trump's phone records from January 6 that are in the hands of the House committee investigating the Capitol assault contain a nearly 8-hour gap.
People attacked the Capitol right at that time that there's this gap. Who was he talking to? What was he doing?
CBS News has confirmed Trump spoke on the phone with Utah Senator Mike Lee and House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy during that time frame. House committee members are looking into whether the former president used phones belonging to his aides or so-called burner phone that day.
Do you think the former president was using a burner phone?
I'm not going to speculate on what was happening, but we know he was communicating. Clearly, there's a lot that's missing that deserves the truth.
Trump responded in a statement saying, "I have no idea what a burner phone is." Monday, the House January 6th committee voted unanimously to recommend 2 former Trump aides, Dan Scavino and Peter Navarro, for a full House vote on a contempt of Congress for failing to comply with subpoenas. But during that committee meeting, members also criticized the Justice Department for not moving so far on a contempt of Congress referral against former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows.
Attorney General Garland, do your job so that we can do ours.
On another front, the committee is claiming victory after a California federal judge ordered attorney John Eastman, who outlined legal plans to overturn the 2020 election, to turn over his records. In his ruling, Judge David Carter said Eastman and Trump more likely than not engaged in criminal conduct to overturn the election. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
And Thursday, the House Judiciary 6th Committee is scheduled testimony with former President Trump's aide and son-in-law, Jared Kushner.
The committee's chairman says no decision has been made on whether to call Ginny Thomas, the wife of U.S. Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, to testify.
Yeah, last week, CBS News and the Washington Post obtained her text messages to former Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, which pushed for overturning the 2020 election.
President Biden held a call with the leaders of France, Germany, Italy, Italy and the UK today to talk about the situation in Ukraine as face-to-face talks between Ukraine and Russia get underway. A Russian attack left a gaping hole in a Ukrainian government building in the port city of Mykolaiv today. The explosion killed at least 7 people and injured many others, all of them civilians. The violence comes as negotiators from Ukraine and Russia met in Turkey to discuss a ceasefire. Secretary of State Antony Blinken expressed doubt about Russia's intentions.
There is what Russia says, and there's what Russia does. We're focused on the latter.
Ukrainian forces have been able to claw back some territory from the Russians, but Ukraine's president warns the war is not over.
Well, a local milk brand is stepping up to help Wisconsin families in need, this time with shelf-stable chocolate milk for food pantries and kid backpack programs. The Giving Cow packs come in a cute cow-design package, but the best part is that these single-serve 8-ounce packs of ultra-high temperature pasteurized milk have a shelf life of up to 12 months. While typically fresh milk has only a shelf life of 20 days. So they're a perfect solution for food pantries and kids' backpack programs, which often lack cold storage.
Food pantries don't usually get a lot of milk donations. They're very important from a protein and nutrition standpoint for people of all ages. So I think this is a wonderful donation from Kemp's.
This year, Kemp's will donate 325,000 shelf-stable Giving Cow milk cartons to Wisconsin's food banks, with more than 30,700 chocolate milk packs being delivered today in partnership with retailer Roundy's to Second Harvest Food Bank of Southern Wisconsin. It'll distribute the milk to food pantries throughout southwestern Wisconsin, including Madison.
Actor Will Smith issued a belated apology to comedian Chris Rock after slapping him at Sunday's Oscars ceremony. Late yesterday, Smith issued the apology to Rock on social media, writing, "Jokes at my expense are a part of the job, but a joke about Jada's medical condition was too much for me to bear. I would like to publicly apologize to you, Chris." Comedian Jim Carrey took aim at Hollywood, starting with the audience that rose to its feet at the Oscars for Smith less than an hour later.
I was sickened. I was sickened by the standing ovation. I felt like Hollywood is just spineless, en masse. You do not have the right to walk up on stage and smack somebody in the face because they said words.
And today, the father of Venus and Serena Williams and the man Will Smith won an Oscar for portraying, Richard Williams, spoke up about the event on Sunday night. He told NBC News, "We don't know all of the details of what happened, but we don't condone anyone hitting anyone else unless it's in self-defense."
Apparently, seeing Will Smith slap Chris Rock has people excited to see Chris Rock on stage again, hopefully sans slap. The comedian's tour has seen a big boost in ticket sales. Ticket reseller TickPick says it sold more tickets to see Chris Rock overnight than it did in the past month combined, sending prices through the roof from $46 a ticket to a minimum of $341. Of course, the movie Coda won the Oscar for Best Film of the Year that night. It deals with a hearing child of deaf parents.
And for the first time in history, the White House has employed a full-time American Sign Language interpreter. We'll have more on that story when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Outlets at the Dells in the center of water park heaven. With 60 of the world's biggest brands, we thrill the trendsetters and all who love a smokin' hot discount. Save even more with 25% off and get a free Vera Bradley umbrella. Visit outletsatthedells.com for coupon and details.
Has the winter taken a toll on your roof? Call Feldco today and get free installation on your roofing project. Plus, no interest until 2023.
Ah, fresh coffee. Hurry, free installation on roofing ends Thursday. Call now.
Call 866 for Feldco.
Dairy farms disappearing, prices up, COVID's still not gone. And what's Ron Johnson done? Voted against new jobs and told us to take mouthwash to cure COVID. I'm Sarah Godlewski. I grew up in Eau Claire where we're more interested in common sense than conspiracies. That's how I've run the state treasurer's office, and common sense is what, quite frankly, we could use in Washington. Practical ideas that just help people, not mouthwash. I'm Sarah Godlewski, and that's why I approve this message.
People with moderate to severe psoriasis are rethinking the choices they make, like the splash they create, the entrance they make, the surprises they initiate. Otezla, it's a choice you can make. Otezla is not a cream. It's a pill that treats plaque psoriasis differently. With Otezla, 75% clear skin is achievable. Don't use if you're allergic to Otezla. It may cause severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting. Otezla is associated with an increased risk of depression. Tell your doctor if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts, or if these feelings develop. Some people taking Otezla reported weight loss. Your doctor should monitor your weight and may stop treatment. Upper respiratory tract infection and headache may occur. Tell your doctor about your medicines and if you're pregnant or planning to be. Otezla, show more of you.
No matter what you do, who you are, or how much money you earn, when it comes to doing taxes, don't go it alone. Jackson Hewitt Tax Pros will make certain you don't miss out on a single deduction. Get the biggest refund you deserve at Jackson Hewitt.
Andrew Larson here, owner of Larson Home Services. My team is fired up. We've discovered a new replacement gutter system that sets the standard for performance, durability, and beauty. It's called Gutter Shutter, and it's guaranteed to never clog, sag, or pull away. It's 100% made in the USA. We'll show you why Gutter Shutter means you can stay off the ladder forever. Right now, get 75% off installation labor, free financing for 24 months, and a $100 Visa gift card with your new Gutter Shutter system. Call now to set up your free estimate.
Outlets at the Dells in the center of Water Park heaven. With 60 of the world's biggest brands, we thrill the trendsetters and all who love a smoking hot discount. Save even more with 25% off and get a free Vera Bradley umbrella. Visit outletsatthedells.com for coupon and details.
Well, here's something to discuss at your next wine and cheese party.
Wayward Spirit, a California company, is turning cheese byproducts into alcohol. As you may know, whey is the liquid that comes from curdled and strained milk. U.S. cheesemakers produced 100 billion pounds of whey in 2020. Wayward ferments the whey so it can be reused as a drink. Wayward officials say they've so far processed 500,000 pounds of whey that otherwise would have been wasted.
America's worker shortage, a hallmark of the pandemic economy, is far from being fixed. The federal government reports U.S. businesses had 11.3 million job openings to fill in February, slightly more than economists had predicted. The level of available positions has little changed from the start of the year, but below the December all-time high of 11.4 million. Meanwhile, the number of Americans quitting their jobs inched up to 4.4 million in February. That's slightly higher than in the month before, but below the November peak of 4.5 million. Stocks extended their gains, that is, as investors keep an eye on the Russia-Ukraine negotiations. The Dow Industrials gained 338 points, closing at 35,294. The NASDAQ tacked on 264 points, and the S&P 500 was up 56.
Well, Troy Kotsur became the first deaf male actor to win an Oscar on Sunday when he took home Best Supporting Actor for Coda.
At the White House, the job of interpreting every word falls to a groundbreaking team of American Sign Language interpreters.
Ed O'Keefe takes us inside their work.
Good afternoon. At the White House, the President, First Lady, and the Press Secretary are usually the most familiar faces, but for thousands of Americans, that box in the right-hand corner of the White House live stream is where their eyes usually focus. Elsie Snecker is the first official White House American Sign Language interpreter.
This is a dream job of that combination of the political information and the interpreting. It fits me very, very well.
Every day, whenever the President speaks, my fellow Americans, whenever Jen Psaki holds a press briefing,
and I know there are a few topics to discuss,
or when experts like Dr. Anthony Fauci share new information from the White House,
the safety of these vaccines have been clearly established.
Elsie is on screen too.
I have to recognize and thank really the deaf community and the grassroots deaf people who pushed so hard to make sure that this access was available.
About 500,000 use American Sign Language, which is not the English version of sign language, but its own language entirely, with its own grammar and sentence structure. During the pandemic, advocates sued to get live ASL interpretation during COVID briefings.
We will have an ASL, an American Sign Language interpreter.
The Biden administration went a step further, hiring Elsie, who's deaf, as a member of the staff. We spoke to her with the assistance of Miyako Villanueva, who signed my questions to her and spoke her answers back.
So absolutely, I am blessed to be here.
And Elsie is just one half of a team.
This is really the ultimate of team relationships.
Lindsay Snyder, who can hear, is also an ASL interpreter.
I am interpreting from English to ASL, and I am essentially feeding Elsie, who then takes that message and interprets it. What I call it real-time editing.
Elsie and Lindsay spend hours each day preparing by reading up on the news and topics on the White House schedule. When an event starts...
Thank you. Thank you very, very much.
Lindsay listens, then interprets for Elsie.
We're seeing the beginnings of an American manufacturing comeback.
Who signs in front of the camera.
As the United States is in a position to outcompete the world once again.
Onto your screen.
There's no limit to what we can achieve. None.
They could just hire someone like Lindsay to do this work, but in essence, they've gone the extra step of hiring somebody who is completely deaf.
Deaf people who are ASL users can watch and identify that it's a deaf person signing on the screen. Most hearing interpreters, they learned ASL, so they have an accent in ASL, where a deaf person who grew up using ASL doesn't have that same kind of accent. We also, as deaf interpreters, can gauge what a deaf audience would potentially need. That some kind of terminology is clearer than others. Some things need a little bit more expansion and explanation.
Natural performers with a great sense of timing, they say the best part of their day is the daily press briefing.
One of my favorite parts, and it's actually related to you. Are you ready?
Okay.
Often, someone will ask a question.
And then on infrastructure,
and she answers it.
Back on infrastructure.
And then somebody else asks a question, and I'm like, in the back of my mind, didn't they already ask that? And then the third person asks, and I'm like, she answered it already. So I'm having this argument with myself in the back of my head while I'm working and trying to keep my cool on the screen.
Is there something those of us in the room should be doing to help it along?
Make friends with your consonants. I love a good articulator. The one-year anniversary of the American Rescue Plan. I also believe that no one speaks or reads faster than Jen Psaki.
Believe it or not, Elsie and Lindsay had never met Psaki in person.
It's so nice to meet you.
But we helped arrange a meeting.
Yeah, press briefings are my favorite. We tell everyone. Or maybe I talk a little fast. Okay, I'll work on that too. This is the ultimate kind of team. We have our own skill set that manages to come together to put out the most effective message to bring in a community that's been marginalized for so long.
I'm not here for myself to be in this position. I'm here for the deaf community to have access to this message.
Ed O'Keefe, CBS News, Washington.
Isn't that fascinating? So much to learn in that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And a deaf person would rather get sign language from a deaf person.
That was very interesting, and that they have accents, too. Isn't that something? Boy, Coda really taught a lot of people a lot.
Remarkable.
Put it on the map, yeah.
Well, from Sierra Leone to La Crosse, Wisconsin, and living the American dream.
We'll tell you how a chance encounter changed a life. That story is coming up after Julian's First Warn forecast.
Attention homeowners, we started out with 50, then 30, and now we reach the final days looking for 20 homeowners to participate in our home energy assessment program. Mad City Home Improvement wants to help you lower your heating bills with eShield attic insulation. America's leader in energy reflective technology, the attic energy barrier that qualifies for a tax credit this year. Call now, final days. 20 homeowners who participate in our home energy assessment program will receive special savings. For starters, free installation of eShield attic insulation. 18 months, no interest, no payments, senior military discounts. We'll even compensate you for your time. Call during this program to get a free $50 Amazon gift card with estimate. Visit MadCityInsulation.com. And South Central Wisconsin homeowners call 608-588-8226. 608-588-8226.
If you have advanced non-small cell lung cancer, your first treatment could be a chemo-free combination of 2 immunotherapies that works differently. It could mean a chance to live longer. Opdivo plus Yervoy is for adults newly diagnosed with non-small cell lung cancer that is spread, tests positive for PD-L1, and does not have an abnormal EGFR or ALK gene. Together, Opdivo plus Yervoy helps your immune system launch a response that fights cancer in 2 different ways. Opdivo plus Yervoy equals a chance for more time together, more family time, more time to to remember. Opdivo and Yervoy can cause your immune system to harm healthy parts of your body during and after treatment. These problems can be severe and lead to death. See your doctor right away if you have a cough, chest pain, shortness of breath, irregular heartbeat, diarrhea, constipation, severe stomach pain, nausea or vomiting, dizziness, fainting, eye problems, extreme tiredness, changes in appetite, thirst or urine, rash, itching, confusion, memory problems, muscle pain or weakness, joint pain, flushing or fever. These are not all the possible side effects. Problems can occur together and more often when Opdivo is used with Yervoy. Tell your doctor about all medical conditions, including immune or nervous system problems, if you've had or plan to have an organ or stem cell transplant or received chest radiation. Here's to a chance to live longer. Ask your doctor about the combination of 2 immunotherapies, Opdivo plus Yervoy. Thank you to all those in our clinical trials.
I love my new home. I always wanted a house with historic architecture, but it might be too Victorian.
Hey, gosh, interesting hemline on those pants.
Yes, I do believe they're called pants.
Pardon me.
No, pardon me. At least GEICO makes bundling my home and car insurance easy. I save so much.
I have come to call upon...
Just text me. Well, I'm heading up.
It's a ghost.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
It's called self-care.
Why would Stanton Optical choose a spokesbird?
They're not your typical eye care company. I'm not your typical penguin. We're a team. There's no I in eye care. Wait.
Get 2 pairs of glasses plus a free eye exam, anti-glare lenses, and same-day service for only $79.
Take a look at this. This guy in Thailand is turning into a one-man wrecking crew. He's hammering holes in the ceiling, trying to figure out a way to remove a reptile hiding in the roof. Once he's destroyed most of it, you get a sense of the size of this gigantic serpent. He manages to get a catch pole around it and pull it to the ground. The good news is the snake problem solved. The bad news is, well, the ceiling.
I was just going to say, couldn't he just make a small hole? And I guess not.
Absolutely not.
That's a lot of snake.
That is a lot of snake.
A little sheetrock work to be done there.
Yeah, I don't know what's the bigger problem, that big snake or the hole in the wall.
Well, safe and sound. That's problem solved.
Yeah, hey, kudos to them because I'm brave, but I'm not,
not that brave.
I know, I'm sure I can brave this weather coming up. Thunderstorms, snow.
I know, just everything, right? And such a short span, too. And that's how we're going to be ending off our March, folks. We're going to have all of it, the mixed bag of precipitation. We're going to time everything out in just a few moments, so stay tuned with the First Warn forecast after the break.
It's been all over the news. Energy costs are on the rise. Give your home an energy upgrade and offset high energy cost with eShield. Brought to you by Mad City Home Improvement, the revolutionary attic insulation that's Energy Star approved. It's the high-density fiberglass supercore that reduces energy consumption all year long. Now's a great time to call Mad City Home Improvement. Final days, 20 homeowners who participate in our home energy assessment program will receive special savings. Free installation of eShield attic insulation. 18 months, no interest, no payments, senior military discounts will compensate you for your time, and you get a $50 Amazon gift card with your free in-home estimate. Visit MadCityInstallation.com. And South Central Wisconsin homeowners call 608-588-8226, 608-588-8226.
Everyone remembers the moment they heard, "You have cancer," how their world stopped, and when they found a way to face it. For some, this is where their Keytruda story begins. Keytruda, a breakthrough immunotherapy that may treat certain cancers. One of those cancers is advanced non-squamous non-small cell lung cancer, where Keytruda is approved to be used with certain chemotherapies as your first treatment if you do not have an abnormal EGFR or ALK gene.
Keytruda helps your immune system fight cancer, but can also cause your immune system to attack healthy parts of your body. This can happen during or after treatment and may be severe and lead to death. See your doctor right away if you have cough, shortness of breath, chest pain, diarrhea, severe stomach pain or tenderness, severe nausea or vomiting, headache, light sensitivity, eye problems, irregular heartbeat, extreme tiredness, constipation, dizziness or fainting, changes in appetite, thirst or urine, confusion or memory problems, muscle pain or weakness, fever, rash, itching or flushing. These are not all the possible side effects. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions, including immune system problems, or if you've had an organ transplant, had or plan to have a stem cell transplant, or have had radiation to your chest area or a nervous system condition.
Today, Keytruda Keytruda is FDA approved to treat 16 types of advanced cancer and is being studied in hundreds of clinical trials, exploring ways to treat even more types of cancer. It's true. Keytruda from Merck. See the different types of cancer Keytruda is approved to treat at Keytruda.com and ask your doctor if Keytruda can be part of your story.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Well, as we're getting into our early evening, we're still on the quiet side as we're starting things out for us, but still, the overcast is not going to go anywhere for us throughout the rest of this evening or for the next few days. So get used to the dreary colors that we have in our skies. 40 degrees right now here in Madison with our wind chills around 31 degrees. We're still looking at breezy conditions throughout southern Wisconsin. As we can see, coming in from the southeast, many of us are into the upper teens or even the middle to lower 20s with 24 miles per hour winds in Platteville and 22 miles per hour winds in Janesville. So it is quite a chilly one thanks to those winds. But as we talk about the precipitation that we're going to be seeing, well, we aren't seeing it start off just yet. Again, we're still looking at some dry conditions for the next couple of hours. But as we see over the last hour or so, there was just a hair of some mixture over towards Platteville outside of Grant County. But we're still onto the dry side as we're kicking off the rest of this evening. But just know for tonight, we're still going to be looking at our mixed bag, but still going to start with some rain and some isolated thunderstorms to kick things off for us tonight. And tonight, we're going to be looking at a low of 38 degrees. Now, everything else is going to be coming is really going to be the main event from overnight into our Wednesday, thanks to this really potent system that's going to be pushing itself and tracking east, and it's going to pop off plenty of precipitation for us over the next few days. So timing that out, around later part of this evening, on the back end of dinner time, we're going to start to see some showers start to roll into southern Wisconsin. But overnight is where we're going to be seeing some of those rumbles of thunderstorms starting to roll in for us, especially throughout southern Wisconsin from Grant County, stretching its way across Dane County, and our friends even into the east. But as you're taking notes, we can see a little bit of mixture is going to start off a bit earlier for areas just north of us as the colder air is still into central Wisconsin. But as we go into our Wednesday morning, expect showers to start off and carry into our lunchtime hours. Still going to be some breaks, but we're looking at consistent rainfall throughout the course of our Wednesday afternoon. Going into Wednesday evening, we're looking at another band and round of some storms to start to roll in, especially east of Dane County. But then on the back end, as we're going to look at that colder air and that one more little pocket of a burst of some snowfall coming into the overnight hours into our Thursday morning, bringing in some snow showers for us that will be off and on throughout our Thursday morning, going into around our lunchtime as well. Now, in terms of how much rain we're going to be expecting, we're looking at some pretty healthy amounts, close to an inch of rainfall for many of us here in southern Wisconsin, especially for Dane County. But take note of the discrepancies. Areas into the northwest, this is Crawford County, and into central areas, not as much rainfall for them, but they are going to be seeing more snow. In terms of accumulations, we could see potentially 1 to 3 inches of snowfall, mainly on grassy areas, but areas to the northwest could be seeing a bit more because that transition is going to happen a lot faster, and they're not going to get as much rain as we are into areas just southeast of them. So as we take a look, that's just going to be one part of this entire week, because as we get into the weekend, well, we're looking at a start of some light snow and even some rain once again. So our 3 things we're going to need to know, it's a lot going to be happening for us throughout the next few days. So just get comfortable with how wet and soggy things are going to be as we get into the weekend. But the good news is, at least, well, it's going to be 58 degrees going into tomorrow, and then we're going back to more cooler conditions heading into next week. But aside from that, temperatures will start to be improving as we get into next week for around 48 degrees. Not too bad into the lower 50s, but April showers are definitely going to be around, Susan and Mark, as we get into next week as well. Not a whole lot of dry conditions for us, it seems.
And it should be the lower 50s for the average high?
Yeah, we're supposed to be, as soon as we walk into April, should be into the lower 50s. As you saw earlier in the show, 49 degrees around this time of year. We're not even near that right now.
No.
All right, we'll get through it.
We'll get there.
Spring will be here sometime.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks, Julian.
A chance encounter on a ship halfway across the world has led one young man from Sierra Leone to lacrosse.
Danny Smith has more on his journey and how he's now living his American dream.
I've heard about the American dreams. It's something that is there if you're willing to work for it.
Abdul Cole is in his final year at Western Technical College. He's studying to be a diesel mechanic.
Abdul showed up at our doorstep here and basically just wanted to kind of see what our program was about.
But how he got here is truly remarkable. Abdul grew up in Sierra Leone in West Africa.
I grew up in a place where you're thinking, how many, like, am I even gonna eat today? I was never a kid because I had to grow up really fast. I had to step up. I had to be a man.
Growing up, Abdul worked on container ships and tugboats until a new job opportunity came along, a chance to work on a traveling medical ship. That's when Abdul's life changed.
I met a friend from Wisconsin. He's from Alaska, and I told him one day, hey, I'm really looking to go to school, possibly look for a diesel mechanic school specifically. And then he told me about Western, saying that, oh, looks like there's a school around where he lives called Western Technical College.
The friend's family even offered to host Abdul in Unalaska while he attended school.
I got a call from the U.S. Embassy saying, hey, Mr. Cole, your visa got approved. I'm like, wait, what?
So Abdul left Sierra Leone and moved to the U.S. in August of 2019.
The chances of someone getting out of Sierra Leone and making it this country and then being here and being this successful, I mean, people need to hear this.
Abdul is here on an F1 visa for students while he learns how to operate and fix heavy machinery.
Abdul came to this program and came to this college and has just immersed himself in the college, starting out here as a resident assistant in one of our dorms and then working for security. He was the vice president of the Multicultural Club, then became student ambassador, and now is the student body president.
But Abdul is doing more than just hitting the books. He's a member of the lacrosse dive team in Unalaska Fire Department. Plus, he volunteers for local organizations like the Salvation Army and Habitat for Humanity.
Abdul said to me one day, he said, the only limitations we have are the ones that we put on ourselves. And he has absolutely embodied that and lived that.
But Abdul's future in the U.S. is still uncertain.
If I'm not able to stay in the country too, that's okay. I've had an amazing time, and I've met a lot of great people. And that's an experience that will always live with me.
Still, Abdul's friends, classmates, and instructors in America are hoping he can stick around.
While we're proud of what he's done here already and everything, we're excited about what he could do in the future for the industry and for the community and for the college.
So it's been a blessing to be not only in America, but in La Crosse, Wisconsin.
What a journey.
Yeah, he seems like a great guy. Abdul graduates from Western Tech next month.
And then he'll begin an internship with a construction company.
He hopes to get a job in the U.S. so he can remain stateside on a worker's visa. Best of luck to him.
Yeah, we'll keep you posted.
Coming up next year on Live at 4, Consumer Reports helps us save money at the pump.
And then next hour at 5, a sobering reality, a rise in excessive drinking in Wisconsin, increasing during the pandemic, and it is not getting better. Our Naomi Coles tells us more at 5.
E-shield insulation in the attic. I think that combined has saved us now 30 to almost 40% on our utility bills. It's incredible.
Call Mad City Home Improvement for E-Shield Attic Energy Barrier and increase the life of your heating and cooling system by over 20%. E-Shield eliminates cold drafts in your attic, and it works well along with blown-in attic insulation to help ease the pinch of higher energy costs by giving your home an energy upgrade. Final days, 20 homeowners who participate in our home energy assessment program will receive special savings. Free installation of E-Shield attic insulation. 18 months, no interest, no payments. And if you call in now, we'll compensate you for your time, and you get a $50 Amazon gift card with estimate. Visit MadCityInsulation.com. And South Central Wisconsin homeowners call 608-588-8226. 608-588-8226.
Everything seems to be more expensive these days. Everything costs more. Ron Johnson should be helping families like us, but he seems to have helped himself instead. An investigation found that Ron Johnson pushed through a special tax loophole that benefited his own family's business. Then he cashed out of the company for $5 million. He's doubled his wealth since taking office. It doesn't seem fair to me. Tell Ron Johnson to stop passing tax laws that benefit himself.
Are your credit card payments $500 or $600 or more on top of your vehicle payments? Chapter 7 and 13 plans start at only $275 a month. Consolidate with Chapter 13 or eliminate your debt under Chapter 7 and get your payments under control. I'm attorney Peter Francis Geraci. At Geraci Law, we consolidate or eliminate on your phone from your home or old school in person. Hit the debt-free button. Click or call now.
Like an eagle protects its nest. We all need a rock we can rely on. To be strong. To overcome anything. To be unstoppable. That's why millions rely on the strength and financial guidance of Prudential to achieve their dreams. Who's your rock?
A lobby at the Capitol today raises opposition to proposed state changes in mandatory bail amounts. Tonight at 5, you'll hear what they had to say about the fairness of the plan.
Showers and a few thunderstorms are likely tonight and Wednesday as temperatures climb to near 60 by Wednesday afternoon. As temperatures drop Wednesday night, rain will change to snow. At 5, I'll let you know if we can expect any accumulation.
Then at 6, find out how a state committee is hoping to tackle Wisconsin's drinking problems. Hear from a member of that committee and an area mother who lost her daughter to alcohol abuse. On News 3 now at 6.
Where do we end up today, Susan?
San Francisco. We're spinning the weather satellite around.
59 degrees there today.
Yeah.
Haven't been there in years.
It's a beautiful city.
Need to get back. Well, coast-to-coast drivers are getting a harsh lesson in how geopolitical events and a war halfway around the world can have a direct impact on their wallets.
Gas prices are at record highs. Consumer Reports has some easy ways to maximize fuel economy by changing how you drive. Here's Charlotte.
As prices at the pump soar, everything from commuting to a weekend road trip is costing more. While there's no magic solution to bring down the price of oil, there are some ways to save on the price of gas, and it all starts with where you fill up.
Generally, gas stations well off major highways and away from city centers tend to have better gas prices, as do warehouse stores and some major travel centers.
Apps and websites like Gas Buddy, Gas Guru, and Waze can help with real-time prices at nearby gas stations. Before you hit the road, check your tire pressure. Underinflated tires affect fuel economy along with performance and handling. Not sure of the proper pressure? Well, check the sticker in the door jamb. And if you have a roof rack, even an empty one, consider removing it because it cuts down on the aerodynamics of your car and it wastes gas. And did you know your driving habits can help or hurt your fuel economy?
The harder you accelerate, the more fuel you use. The goal should be to drive evenly and anticipate the movement of traffic while still obeying the speed limit. Smooth acceleration, cornering, and braking also help to extend the life of your engine, transmission, brakes, and tires, too.
While your car's heater won't impact fuel economy, the air conditioner will. So when the weather is nice, roll down the windows and enjoy the breeze. This is Charlotte DeLeste.
And if you're in the market for a more fuel-efficient car, we've got a list of CR's most fuel-efficient vehicles on our website.
Well, there's more to come at 4. When we come back, the FDA has approved a second booster shot for people over 50.
Should you get one? Do you need one? UW Health's Dr. Jeff Potoff joins us next with the latest COVID and vaccine news. That's when Live at 4 continues.
As energy costs skyrocket, insulating your home is essential. One of the biggest sources of energy waste is through the roof. Mad City Home Improvement will assess your home and bring it up to code with eShield Thermal Reflective Attic Insulation. eShield is the simple and affordable solution to making your home more comfortable. Get the tax credit on eShield this year. Final days, 20 homeowners who participate in our home energy assessment program will receive special savings. Free installation of eShield attic insulation. 18 months, no interest and no payments, senior military discounts, and will compensate you for your time. Last chance to call in during this program to get the $50 Amazon gift card with your free in-home estimate. Visit MadCityInsulation.com. and South Central Wisconsin homeowners call 608-588-8226, 608-588-8226.
Guys, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction, Peak Performance for Men has a natural solution that can help you today. That's right. Stop wasting money on pills and inferior technology that hurts and just masks your ED. Fix it for good. The best part, our ED treatment is non-invasive, painless, and you can get back to your natural functionability after just a few short in-office sessions. Call us today and mention this ad, and your initial consultation is free. We are Madison's trusted specialist and only national erectile dysfunction provider. Call Peak Performance for Men today.
Aleve X. Its revolutionary rollerball design delivers fast, powerful, long-lasting pain relief. Aleve it and see what's possible.
This is big for heartburn sufferers. Zantac 360 Degrees has the #1 doctor-recommended medicine approved to both prevent and relieve heartburn. It works in as little as 15 minutes and lasts up to 12 hours. Zantac 360.
At Denny's, we're open for anything, like making our breakfast endless. For a limited time, enjoy all the pancakes, scrambled eggs, and hash browns you want. That's endless yum for just $6.99. New endless breakfast, only at Denny's.
Whoa. How do they get these things to smell so good? Must be magic. Hefty Ultra Strong with Fabuloso Scent.
Everything seems to be more expensive these days. Everything costs more. Ron Johnson should be helping families like us, but he seems to have helped himself instead. An investigation found that Ron Johnson pushed through a special tax loophole that benefited his own family's business. Then he cashed out of the company for $5 million. He's doubled his wealth since taking office. It doesn't seem fair to me. Tell Ron Johnson to stop passing tax laws that benefit himself.
And with a quick update on our traffic, here's what we're seeing as of right now. Along the Beltline, pretty green as of right now. As we can see, however, for Fish Hatch, some slow spots as we're getting into the rest of our evening commute. But as we take a look over towards the interstate as of right now, well, we're still all green aside for some construction, which is still just pretty decent as terms of getting from point A to point B as of right now. Pretty normal for this time of day in terms of what we're going to be seeing from getting to that point A to point B. And that's going to be the update for our traffic. Let's go ahead and toss it back to you guys.
Julian, thank you. The 200th anniversary of Key West being formally claimed as a U.S. territory was celebrated with a drone fireworks display over the southernmost city in the continental U.S. The display, called Drone Sky Concert, featured scores of drones that formed animated light configurations representing symbols connected to the island's 200-year history. They include sailing vessels, schools of fish, and the sun sinking beneath an ocean horizon. The bicentennial celebration commemorated the day when U.S. Navy Lieutenant Matthew Perry planted the American flag on Key West soil.
That's so cool to think those are all drones.
I know, it's hard.
Very neat.
It's hard to imagine what you're looking at sometimes. Well, more than 34 million Americans aged 50 and older could soon be eligible to receive another COVID booster shot.
The Food and Drug Administration said today it has authorized a new round of the Moderna or Pfizer COVID vaccines for those who want them.
The CDC still hasn't made a recommendation, but they may leave it up to individuals. UW Health's Chief Quality Officer, Dr. Jeff Potoff, back from vacation.
Welcome back.
All tan.
Good to see you guys.
Relaxed.
Yeah.
So what's going on here? Should you get the second booster?
Yeah, my recommendation is if you're eligible for it, so you're 50 or older, and it's been 4 months since you've gotten your booster, to go ahead and get that booster. I think 2 reasons. The personal reason is your likelihood of getting severe disease if you come in contact with COVID goes down. The bigger community reason is if we enjoy not wearing masks and we enjoy going to restaurants and movie theaters without worrying about COVID, all of us being vaccinated and boosted on this schedule prevents the next variant, whether it's the BA2 subvariant or the next one, from really raining in our parade. It provides that protection. So that's the reason I would say if you're eligible for it, go out and get it.
Is our immunity waning?
Yeah, our immunity would wane. This is, pretty typical. Some vaccines we're lucky. We get 1 dose and we're good for forever. But most, it requires a booster at some point. Our immune system doesn't see the disease. It kind of gets lazy. It goes on spring break like all the rest of us. And then we need these boosters to wake it up and say, well, wait a second. I got to be ready to fight this disease. So not surprising that we see this immunity waning. The durability wanes over time.
So probably a yearly shot, maybe like the flu?
I think that's what we'll get to. Right now, folks are probably saying, hey, say, like, I don't want to get a shot every 4 months, and that won't be the future. That's a factor of the pandemic, lots of variants, things happening very quickly. I do think we will get to the state where this will be much like a flu shot. Once a year, it'll cover the most common variants, and it'll protect us against severe disease, and life will go on like normal.
But for the second booster, it's up to you to get one?
Right now, the CDC will likely kind of give it passive permission, like go ahead and do this. I don't think you'll see as much strength behind the recommendation, not because it's not a good idea, but I think the data behind it is limited. It's based on a few studies from Israel. They typically are a little bit ahead of the rest of the world on boosters and their effectiveness. They are seeing definitely benefit to getting that booster, but until there's more data, I don't think you'll see the CDC pushing it quite as hard.
Okay. The testing site at Alliant was going to close, and now they're going to keep it open until at least June. Who should get tested and when and why?
I think if you're having symptoms of COVID-19, it's a good idea to still get tested. I think we almost have been lulled into the sense that there isn't any COVID out there, and that's not true. Cases are actually just up a little bit. Probably not a big deal, but if you have symptoms, I would get tested. I think the Alliant is nice because everyone's used to that. They know that that's available. It has easy access. It's in and out. So I think it's great that that's open, even though there's lots of additional testing out there nowadays.
And then if you test positive, do you follow the same protocol we've been using from the beginning?
I would say, isolate. You can do that for 5 days. Take that antigen test. Make sure you're not having symptoms. If you're negative there, you can kind of get back into society. I'd wear a mask for the next 5 days. Yeah, I feel like we're kind of getting good at this. We kind of know what to do if we come down with COVID-19.
And I think you're right. I think the feeling out there is, well, this is over. We're going to concerts. We're going to movies. We're not wearing masks.
All the restrictions are dropped. Yeah, airlines are starting to talk about dropping masks on flights.
But it's still out there.
It's still out there. All these things are okay to do because cases are low, but it would be good to just take that little bit of extra effort, namely around vaccination and boosters, to ensure we can keep living like this, not having to worry about this.
I mean, we live with the flu.
Yeah, we'll live with COVID.
We'll live with COVID.
What's the situation in Europe?
In Europe, there's some diciness there. I think the UK had some increased cases. They saw a few increased hospitalizations. Clearly, with the war in Ukraine, that's an impossible situation to do the things you need to do to prevent transmission. So we're seeing it there. And then likewise, even in parts of Asia, China, Australia. So it's not like the whole world is having the same good luck that we are right now. But hopefully with time, we will get to a worldwide endemic state where there aren't hot spots, and that would be good for all of us.
Isn't Shanghai on lockdown right now?
I believe so.
I believe so, yeah.
26 million people.
That's a lot of people.
It's not over yet. All right, but we're in a much better place than we were.
We're good right now. I feel good about where we are right now.
That's good to hear. Wow, is that good to hear?
Yeah.
Doctor, thanks for being with us.
Dr. Potoff. Great to see you.
Good to see you guys, too.
Final check of your forecast coming up.
At Star N Bank, we think having choices is important, so you can choose the products that are right for your life. What are you waiting for? Explore the possibilities today at starnbank.com.
Andrew Larson here, owner of Larson Home Services. My team is fired up. We've discovered a new replacement gutter system that sets the standard for performance, durability, and beauty. It's called Gutter Shutter, and it's guaranteed to never clog, sag, or pull away. Gutter Shutter is the world's strongest high-performance gutter with thicker aluminum, wider gutter size, and it's available in 18 beautiful colors. Best of all, it's made 100% in the USA. Over the years, my team at Larson Home Services has installed thousands of gutter systems and premium roofs in our community. And what really sets us apart is the experience you'll have. You'll be like a member of our team throughout the entire process, and we'll always follow up to make sure your experience with us was as promised. That's the Larson experience. We can't wait to show you what Gutter Shutter can do for your home. Right now, get 75% off installation labor, free financing for 24 months, and a $100 Visa gift card with your new Gutter Shutter system. Call now to set up your free estimate.
What are you recommending for muscle pain?
Based on clinical data, I recommend Salonpas.
Agreed. My patients like these patches because they work up to 12 hours, even on moderate pain.
Salonpas, it's good medicine.
Today's the day to go farther with a partner that provides you innovative solutions for your own personal financial future. Explore the possibilities today at starnbank.com.
A proposed state constitutional amendment that would set new standards for bail amounts faces pushback at the Capitol. Find out what opposing groups had to say. Plus, we'll tell you about a push for caregivers for those suffering from Alzheimer's. It's all tonight at 5.
Want to know what the weather is like right now where you live?
Download the First Warn Weather app and I'll give you my hour-by-hour forecast.
The First Warn Weather app. Get it now. Powered by News 3 Now.
Vegas.
Our takeaway from our forecast, folks, the 3 things you're going to need to know. Just expect soggy conditions starting in from tonight, and that's going to carry all the way into our Thursday as well. We're going to have rain from storms to snow all in the next few days, guys.
All right, something for everybody. Thank you, Julian.
Thanks, Julian.
Tomorrow here on Live at 4, we highlight another Best of Madison Business Award winner.
And Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company will be here to answer your plant and garden questions live. Wow, the patio looks very brown.
Very spring-like out there.
Not at all. That's coming up tomorrow on Live at 4.
At Harker Heating and Cooling, you can save a whole bunch of money when you buy an air conditioner. You know what's even better? Saving even more money when you purchase an air conditioner and a furnace at the same time.
Harker Heating and Cooling.
I can't take it anymore. It's time for a change. Buy one window, get one free? Perfect.
I can change, honey.
Not you. These drafty old windows.
Oh.
It's time for a change. Buy one window, get one free from Feldco.
Buy one window, get one free ends Thursday. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
From the very first touch, Pampers, the #1 pediatrician recommended brand, helps keep baby's skin drier and healthier, so every touch will protect like the first. Pampers.
When you really need to sleep, you reach for the really good stuff. ZzzQuil Ultra helps you sleep better and longer when you need it most. It's non-habit forming and powered by the makers of NyQuil. ZzzQuil Ultra, when you really, really need to sleep.
With inflation, everything costs more. It also means choosing between paying debt and paying your everyday expenses. At Geraci Law, we help fight inflation by eliminating or consolidating consumer debt. Get one lower payment you can afford as low as $275 a month. Keep your stuff, pay your expenses, control your debt. On your phone, from your home, or old school in person. 0 to start. Hit the debt-free button. Click or call now.
When you need a paint to fit your lifestyle, Menards has got you covered. From protecting against this, or covering this, to refinishing this, we have a paint for you. You also need it in this color, or even this color. We can do that. Stop in and talk to one of our paint professionals to make your colors come to life. Pick up a gallon of Pittsburgh Ultra interior plat paint for only $16.97 after sale price and 11% rebate.
At Harker Heating and Cooling, you can save a whole bunch of money when you buy an air conditioner. You know what's even better? Saving even more money when you purchase an air conditioner and a furnace at the same time.
Harker Heating and Cooling.
In today's Final Touch, a robot dog creates art to benefit Ukraine relief.
That old story. This vivid work of art recently sold at auction, raising $40,000 to benefit Ukrainian refugees. Did we mention the artist is a robot dog? Actually, the artist is technically a Polish-American artist living in New York. She used Spot as a sort of autopilot paintbrush, setting the Boston Dynamics dog free on a canvas with its powered paws peppered with paint. What resulted was an amazing artistic alliance between human and machine. It sold at a San Francisco charity event that raised more than $250,000 to benefit victims of the crisis in Ukraine.
The Ukrainian color, it is beautiful. I love it.
Those dogs, I'll tell you. That's our time for now. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you back here again tomorrow. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.